Hello and welcome to part 4 of my RTS tutorial. A lot to be done in this portion because I want to do certain things. I have to go really fast and ahead of time, so I gotta go through this really fast. First things first, I made a new sprite called Select, which is the same as a worker with a green circle around it. You'll see why we have this later. Secondly, I created a small building. It has to be twice the size of your worker dimension. So my worker is 32 by 32. Therefore, my building is 64 by 64. This makes it proportional to the vehicle, so you can easily see things, building, vehicle, and it's sized right. And last one, the most complicated one, weighting. It's just a circle that I shaded up a bit, and then broke up. And now, after I did that, I went to animation, rotation sequence, counterclockwise, and I did 50 because it's going to be spinning for 100 steps, so it's going to spin twice. I just wanted it to be something like that. You can do whatever you want. I find 36 to 72, anywhere in there, a good, nice flowing animation. So, 2 new objects were created. Making, all you have to do is make sure it's visible. It has the sprite weighting, whatever your weighting sprite is, and everything else is okay. Do not make it solid. Then we have building main. We have 3 different events for this. But first I'm going to go into ship worker. First I renamed it, and I added some code. I said in the step event, our variable selected, if selected equals 1, that thing, I said sprite underscore index equals select, that one with the circle. So if it's selected, it has that sprite with the green circle around it, which basically means if it is selected, it'll have that green circle, and then I put else in brackets, sprite underscore index equals worker with the original sprite. So when it's not selected, it'll just be the worker image, but if it is selected, then I'll have the green circle, so the user understands this is selected, this isn't, this is what I'm moving, this is what I'm not moving, so it's easier to see for the user. So now to the important part of this episode, building underscore main. In the create event, all we do is have working equals 0, so to basically say we're not working right now. Then in alarm 0, this is where the beef of our code is, instance underscore create, and then in parentheses self.x comma self.y plus 32 comma ship underscore worker and parentheses semicolon, and what this says is create the object ship worker 32 pixels below itself. So you'll notice I put the door of the building on the bottom, so the ship will basically look like it's half coming out of the door, which is what I'm going for. Then I put working back to 0, as in now the job's done, we're not working anymore, we can make another. And we also do another thing, we say instance destroy parentheses and then semicolon, and instead of right up here it says applies to, normally it says applies to self, we're going to say applies to object making, or whatever your weighting object is, that green rotating circle, whatever the object is for that, we need it to destroy itself at the end of the alarm. And here's why. Under left pressed, we have a piece of code that says if working equals 0, so if we're not working, working equals 1, which means we're now working, we're busy, we can't do something else. Alarm, bracket, not curly bracket, bracket 0 bracket, which says alarm 0. Then we have equal to 100, so we set the alarm to 100 steps. Then we say instance underscore create, and in parentheses self.x comma self.y comma making, or whatever that green circle one is. So we're creating the circle now that we're busy, and when we're not busy it disappears at the end. So now that we're starting working, the little green circle appears. When we're done working in alarm 0, it disappears. So basically we have a building we can click on, a green circle appears to show it's busy, a ship pops out, green circle disappears, we move the ship around, and the ship has a green circle around it when it's selected. Now if you go in room, they took out all the normal workers and just put in a main building. So now we're okay. We just have that building, and we can go ahead and run this little game, and we can see how we made out. This is a pretty important one because this is one of the major parts of the game. After this, it just has to check resources to make it. As you see, I clicked on it, that happened, and then we got a little ship, and the green circle's there when I select it, and I deselect it, and I can click all around. I know you can't tell I'm clicking, but I'm clicking. Click it and select it again and move it around, and etc. Create another one while moving this around. Now I have two, and I can select them both and have them both move. I can make another one. What do you know? So I can move them all around. I can deselect this one, move these two, deselect those two, select this one, move it down over there, and they move past each other, and it all works, and we're okay. So now we're moving, we're doing that. All that needs to be done now is resources, because of course when you make a ship, it's going to expel resources and things like that. It's going to spend resources, can't just do it for free. So next time we're going to be doing that. It will take a while for that video to get up, but I promise it will get up. Thanks for watching. Please rate and please comment.